time it is. It's that official time. Where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape, definitely bringing you the pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point, then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Powerslam show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up.
Yo. What's up, y'all? 578. Staying up late for the PMP episode 578. Like we do every single week. We have so much fun. We ain't sleep. We late night lounging. That's what we do. With the PMP crew. Every single week we have the most fun. Funner than everyone. All of the airways, that's what we do. Every Tuesday we with the crew. Talk about the World Heavyweight Championship. It's back, the big gold belt, but it's the WWE verse left. It's left because it ain't right. We'll talk about more of this later. Gator. That's what we do. We ain't no haters, but we tell the truth every week with the P crew. Chat and sleep. We ain't sleep. We all the way up. That's what we do. Stuffed. We ain't stuffed. We losing, we lounging. Crew, late night public housing. Townsend. Like Robert Townsend. Parenthood. That's what we do. Because we understood the PMP crew. Having fun every single week with Dr. C. Yo. The big gold belt try to come back, but it's kind of whack. Or is it? Let's talk about, is it whack or is it not? Is it not whack? Is it kind of stacked? Is it kind of dope? Is it kind of sweet? What do you think? Why don't you speak? But it's okay, because we have the PMP through every day, every Tuesday of the week. Chilling with Dr. C, having so much fun like we do. Why don't you come join us on P&P, because we are family. Yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on? Episode 578. That's what we do, and staying up late, as we always do. The best late night chat interactive pro wrestling podcast in the business, baby. You know what? Matter of fact, man, I forgot to upload the I need somebody to help me with this. I forgot to upload last week's podcast onto onto what is it? Blog Talk Radio. I need to do that, man. The Blog Talk Radio and upload this joker, man. Last week's podcast. All right, let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure. Trying to clear everything up. What's up, PNP Nation? How y'all feeling tonight? How y'all feeling? We got PNP Nation come on through. We have fun every single week. Of course, hashtag Ask Doc. Hashtag Ask Doc is what we do here every single week on the PNP show, Pancakes and Powerslams. And see here. I need to figure out. I need to go ahead and get these episodes together because I need to remember to download. I need some assistance. That's the reason why I said before, man. I need a team because I got to figure out. I got to start downloading my shows and putting them on Spotify. Not Spotify, but Blog Talk Radio. I need to start doing that, man. I need to start doing that. But yeah, I need to start doing it. Thing is, man, it just takes so much out of my time. It takes so much out of my time to be able to do this. And that becomes an issue. Anyways, let's see what's going on. Everybody's coming in. Aaron's in the building. Rarito's in the building. Dion's in the building. Ricky's in the building. Savas is in the building. We making it work. We're making it work. Hashtag Ask Doc is the way to go, as we do every single week. Of course, hashtag Ask Doc. Go ahead and put that on there, and we will talk about the latest as always. Let's see here. I'm trying to make this work. Let's see. I'm trying here. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to do two things at once. And currently trying to get this downloaded on the interwaves, on the airwaves. All right, cool. As I do that, let's get these questions together. All right, here we go. Ask Doc, the new belt. The new belt looks so bad. Wish to just bring the original back. All right, since we're at it, let's go ahead and talk about this new belt, man. Oh boy. Let's talk about this new belt. So, let's see. It's downloading. Oh, it's too. Okay, I'm not trying to do that. Okay. All right. Here we go. The new belts. I first looked at it. I first looked at the new belt. And I was like, okay, so first of all, I liked that it was called the World Heavyweight Championship. It just makes sense. And I was like, okay, we're probably going to get like some big gold belt. I didn't put my faith in the fact that it would look like this. Look like, I'm trying to get that right there. I didn't have my faith that it would look like that. But I was like, okay, we're probably going to have some type of version of the big gold belt. And so I hope that it's like a good, like it has to be either equal or better than the big gold belt that, has been legendary, the one that's right here, right? So pulled the when he pulled the cloth off, I looked at it and I was like, okay, I see what you're trying to do here. I see what you're trying to do here. It didn't really woo me. And I was like, okay, the jury's still out. It didn't, I wasn't completely turned off by it, but it didn't really woo me. And I didn't see like just as good as the big gold belt. I didn't see that. So I was like, so I spent time to look at it more and more. And I was like, man, I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it, man. And here's the reason why. Here's the reason why. First of all, again, it has to look just as good or better than the legendary big gold belt. All right. It has to look just as good or it's better. So you don't want to unveil the World Heavyweight Championship, which you used to use the big gold belt. And of course, you're all about branding and you want to make this WWE thing. And I get it. I understand that. I'm not opposed to that. But make it just as good as better. But you didn't do that. You didn't make it just as good or better. You made it look worse than the big gold belt. Here's why. Here's why. The biggest thing for me and the belt design is that huge eyesore that is in the middle, man. I just can't rock with it. I just can't do it. As a matter of fact, let me bring this joker up, man. Let me bring this joker up. Let's see. I'm going to bring up. I'm trying to do this. I'll just share my screen. I'm gonna bring this up. All right. I'm gonna bring this up so we can all analyze this together. This big gold belt. All right. This World Heavyweight Championship. We're going to analyze this thing together. I'm bringing it up, and here we go. All right. Here we go. Bring this up. All right. Trying to bring it up. Okay, here we go. All right. That is the big gold belt. Okay. That's it. Let me even give you a bigger view. All right. Okay, let's analyze this thing. So I appreciate the gold. I appreciate the gold. All right. I'm cool with this. I'm cool. I like the fact. One thing I love about belt designs is when it has a cuffed like top here and a cuffed bottom. It makes it look like a title, like a belt. Like I'm not a big fan. Like the IWGP title to me is just absolute trash. Like the O one, I loved it. Like the before the one we see now, I loved it. But it has some type of dips and horrible. So sure, it has some kind of, you know, rolling, kind of wavy designs here, but this is totally just solidly round here. I can respect that. Goes off like a title. I'm fine with it, man. It looks good to me. I like it. I'm cool with this. I'm cool with the side plates. I have no qualms with the side plates. There's your branding. WWE. I always say that I'm a fan of titles that has some type of world emblem on it. Like I can appreciate that. I'm cool with that. And this part and the main plate, took a lot of work to do. I appreciate it. I don't understand. I don't really know what this design is really. I mean, like the original Big Gold Belt, the design was a little bit better. This just seems like a bunch of gold worms. I mean, like it can have like a bunch of, like, it has the feel of like being a bunch of gold worms. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what this is. It's just kind of weird to me. I like the stones here. I like the stones there. I appreciate the gold. I just wish that they would have done better with just laying the middle plate out as far as what is this? Like it just seems like drip, like a bunch of gold drips that's not really drips, and that's weird to me. So I wish they would have smoothed this out a little bit better. This right here is the biggest eyesore to me. This big old WWE emblem in the middle. The world thing to me is not too bad. I wish that it would have I wish it would have like came out. Like I wish it would have protruded this part. Um Kind of like the NWA championship does. It would have been really dope if this was smooth out. The middle, just smooth out the gold. If you want to drip it on the side, okay, with the plates, but this here is just kind of weird. I mean, it kind of looks messy. Just smooth it out, make this world emblem stick out, protrude it, and get rid of that WWE logo in the middle, man. Like that is the biggest eyesore of this whole entire title to me. It is the biggest eyesore. Like you already have two WWE logos on the sides. That's your branding. That's good enough. That branding works for me. All right. It works. Just if you would have took this WWE logo out and not make it such an eyesore, have the world be below it, like that's behind it, that's behind the logo. Take the logo out, have this world stick out, smooth out this gold. Money. That's a money title right there. That looks great. But man, this thing right here is just such an eyesore. I can't rock with it, man. I just can't rock with it. Like theoretically it looks okay, as far as what they were trying to, but I think that they failed an attempt to look at they failed at the attempt to make it look like the Big Gold Belt. I mean, again, it has to look either better or either just as good or better. All right. And no, they just, it didn't do that, man. That daggone eyesore of a um emblem in the middle, man. That just threw it off to me. It was just ugh. I'm gonna bring up the Big O belt. I'm gonna bring up the Big O belt just so you can see, just to compare the two. All right. Um. All right. So let me bring this up too. Bring up the Big Gold belt, man. Um. So you can see the two. Here we go. All right. That's the Big Gold belt. Um. That's money, man. I mean, at least you have more of a kind of brushy gold. You've got some designs here. You got a crown. You got a world. You got a gold plate. You've got the kind of the rhinestoney, the red stones. You've got similar kind of wavy and kind of round on the bottom. This thing's money. It's money. World heavyweight wrestling champion. The Prince good. Nothing just it's not just some big. It just doesn't really stick out as a big eyesore as far as something. It just looks all just put together. It just looks great, man. It looks great. That is not a a step up from the Big Gold belt. It's just not. Again, I get what they're trying to do, but I don't think they did a good job doing it, unfortunately. Let's see here. What else we got? How many times have I interviewed Eric Watts now? Probably 3 or 4 now. Probably 3 or 4. Let's see. Michael's in the building. Do I see the ultimate swerve? Sammy turn on Owens and going back to blood. See, that's the thing, man. I don't have any type of desire to see anything, any other that's regurgitating something that is just horrible to me. We're going to do another turn from Sammy and KO and to lead to another match between Sammy and KO. Like, at least this was new. This was different because they'd never been a babyface tag team together. They've been a heel tag team together. They went against Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan at 34. So they've been a heel tag team together, but they've never been a babyface tag team together. They've aligned, they've feuded, they've had a WrestleMania match against each other, they've had a WrestleMania match with each other, and now this was different. They both were babyface and going for the tag team title. So I can appreciate that. It was new. It was different. It wasn't the same type of regurgitated Owens versus Zayn or Owens with Zayn as a heel, and it wasn't. It didn't feel regurgitated. And so, if we do the Sammy turning on Owens to join the bloodline, it kind of brings so much more back that didn't even need to be brought back. Like, you're like landing the plane and then you're trying to bring it back up, and all the passengers are like, wait a minute, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, no, we're trying to land the plane here. Don't bring it back. Like, no, we're not trying to go back up here. And so I think it's time to land the plane when it comes to Sammy and the bloodline and Owens. And even if an Owens and Sammy feud is on the tail end of this, oh man, are you serious? For what? There's not going to be any title involved in this, and it's just yet another Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens feud. So I'm not interested, man. I'm not interested. And anything dealing with Sami Zayn turning on Kevin Owens or Kevin Owens turning on Sami Zayn, just no. Although I do think that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to lose on SmackDown, though. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because you had all of that really good, meaty feud with Owens and Zayn. and then you turn around and have them lose less than a month later the title. I can see them losing because I mean Sami Zayn's not going to go to Saudi, and Saudi's at the end of May. It's about a month from now, so Sammy's not going to be there. So you're having Night of Champions in Saudi without your tag team champion. Yeah. So what I can see happening is probably this is most likely what's going to happen. You're going to have a turn. Owens, Zayn turning, one of them turning on each other would just be just horrible, man. So what I can see is Owens and Zayn get drafted separate brands, and basically they need to win the titles to keep, staying on the same brand. And then because that gives it a stipulation that brings more stakes into it. So if they lose, they have to split up because they got drafted on separate brands. And if the Usos lose, of course, they would still have the titles. But I can see them splitting up different brands, no just ridiculous turns. And that's how you do it. I mean, that's how you break them up essentially. But I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, they kind of booked themselves into a corner because Sami Zayn's not going to go to Saudi. And the point of Night of Champions, like you changed the name from King and Queen of the Ring to Night of Champions to be able to be able to, basically showcase this new World Heavyweight Championship and to mark Roman Reigns' 1,000th day. Okay, cool. But the problem is it's in Saudi. So that means that the theme of Night of Champions won't be able to be honored fully if KO and Sammy are the tag team champions. So that means you have to have them lose the titles. So I can see them losing the championship. And so out of the next month, who do you have? I mean, what, viable babyface team out of all of this longest title, longest champions ever, the Usos, a 2.5+ year storyline that stems from the bloodline. Sami Zayn has been in this thing, for a year of this, and just a really good storyline. All this doesn't have a payoff. There's no longevity, and that's a problem with many months of WWE, pro wrestling period. But there's a problem with a lot of WWE. It's like the payoffs are just weak. A lot of the stuff. Now the payoff was good at WrestleMania. It was good. The match was fantastic. But man, where's the longevity in this at, man? They're going to lose less than a month after winning the title, after all of that emotional feel that came with winning the championship. You lose on a SmackDown. Oh man. Does Cody Rhodes win the world title? Man, that would be horrible, man. That would. I mean, here's what I think. I think Cody's going to beat Roman. I think Cody's going to beat Roman in Saudi. As far as who's going to win the World Heavyweight Championship, the Undisputed Championship is going to go to Cody. Cody's going to beat Roman in Saudi. I think the winner of the World Heavyweight Championship is Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins is going to win it. Now, I'm not. I mean, yes, right. It's just kind of like I'm just on the fence with that, man. I'm not. It makes sense it makes sense of why Seth would win. Okay, so that's what I'll say. It makes sense as to why Seth Rollins is going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. He's put in work. He's been there consistently. He consistently puts on good matches, but he's marketable by his battle hymn is what they call it. And unfortunately, his song is more over than he is. So yeah, I guess. I guess it makes sense for Seth Rollins. I'm just personally, I'm not sold on it. It just doesn't really ooze larger than life to me, But I mean, yeah, yeah. I just it doesn't really do much to me. It doesn't really interest me much, honestly. Because it's like Seth Rollins he's a heck of a wrestler. He's a darn good wrestler. The character's mostly driven by the song. It's just that larger than life feel. I don't. It doesn't do anything to me, man. It just doesn't. So, but I think they'll give it to him. But the problem is, whoever has this World Heavyweight Championship is going to feel second rate. It's going to be like a second tier championship. like you're gonna feel second best. How Triple H just promoted this whole thing was horrible. Like, hey, so since Roman Reigns is that darn good, in the times that he's had the title, there's barely anyone, who I can think of who's better than Roman Reigns. He's beat everybody. So therefore, we're going to have another title. It makes Roman Reigns officially bigger and better than everybody in the company. So this prize here is the second best person in the company. That's essentially what you said. And that's essentially what the feel was after this promo. I think Seth Rollins is going to win because Seth Rollins said, well, you never beat me. I'm not on that list. So basically, we want a champion who's going to earn it, going to work for it and stuff like that. So I think that already sets up the gimmick of Seth Rollins isn't like everybody else as far as being on the list, and he's the champion because he's not going to take time off all the time. So it's like a workhorse championship, which the world championship should not be the workhorse championship. That's the reason why you have the mid-card championships, like the Intercontinental US Championship. It should not be the workhorse championship. That's one of the reasons why the world title has been diminished for so long, because it doesn't feel bigger than all the other championships. It's not a workhorse championship. And that's what it seems like Seth Rollins is going to make it, which is the reason why I'm not really buying in Seth Rollins winning. So, but out of all the options that we have, from what I can see, the way the WWE thinks, Seth Rollins is going to be the guy. He hasn't gotten any big feud. Logan Paul was at WrestleMania. He got thrown into a match against Omos. So they're just buying time at this point to have him win the title. And so what does that mean? I can see Cody is WWE champion. I can see Seth as world heavyweight champion. You have two baby faces as champions now. Then who goes there? Roman Reigns, I can see him out for the summer. Gunther too early. Like I said before, for WrestleMania 40, I'd be totally fine with Cody and Gunther. I'll be fine with that. But does Cody keep it for a year? If he keeps it for a year, he's going to become a heel. Like, people just aren't going to buy it with him having a lengthy reign. So then you don't want to make him and Gunther, because you want to make Gunther that really big heel to win it. The thing is, though, here's my only gripe with that. you want to protect the characters, and I think Gunther would be cheered if he would win just because of that kind of chase feel. It's, regardless if you're a face or a heel, if you are chasing, you kind of still get that rally feel from people. Like people are part of your chasing process, so they kind of cheer you more. Um, so that's the thing. I wouldn't necessarily want Cody Gunther at Mania if Gunther's. You got to protect Gunther as a heel. You got to heal him the heck up. Um, to protect to protect him. Otherwise, they'll cheer for him. But Gunther as a character is good enough to do that. So if you want Gunther to beat Cody, win the championship, I'm totally fine with Gunther becoming world champion by next WrestleMania. I'm totally fine with it. He is absolutely one of the best heels in the business right now. So I can respect that. But then who do you have? Seth. I mean, I think Seth would probably lose it, between now and Mania. I don't know. I mean, if I had my choice of who I would want to win the World Heavyweight Championship, honestly, I think Lashley or Drew would be great options. Because they look the part. They look bigger. They have that presence. If those two aren't options, I mean, that's the thing, man. They do such a bad job with really building this talent up, man. I was saying this before. You have to go outside of the business to make the business look bigger. It's just, ugh, that's terrible. That's a terrible way to build your character. So, mm, I mean, Finn could be an option, but his win loss record has been super weak lately. Um, Priest too early. They need to build him up a lot. I wouldn't be totally upset if he ends up being world heavyweight champion, in the next 3 years or so. I wouldn't be totally upset with that. But I mean, else do you have? Dolph Ziggler, Austin Theory. No, thank you. Man, it's tough. They got some work to do with building up these characters, right? This is just yikes. Absolute yikes. All right. What should happen at the draft? Actually subscribe to Russell Binge. Sports Kita's page. Vince Russo and I, we talked about that. And vid should be coming out about that soon. The NFL draft. I think you're talking about the NFL. Okay, so as far as the NFL draft, I think CJ Stroud's going to get the first pick. Carolina has the first pick, I believe. They're going to have. I think they're going to. Oh, it was Carolina, Houston. We're trying to get the third. I think Indy has the fourth, right? But I think Arizona maybe have. Let me see. I think Carolina is first. Um, here's the order. Yep, Carolina first. Houston, Arizona. Yep. So I was right. We're 11th. We're trying to get third, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So Carolina gets first, then Houston, then Arizona, then Indy. I think Carolina's going to get C.J. Stroud. I think Houston's probably going to get Bryce Young. I think Arizona. Let me see. They might get. Who else is out there? Jalen Carter's out there, right? Um, Will Levis from Kentucky, he's out there. The quarterback. He'll be up. He'll be up there. It depends on who needs what. I know, it depends on if you need, because you have Will Anderson Jr. from Alabama. He's out there. It depends on the need, the need for the team. So we shall see. But I do think that CJ Stroud will be the number one pick. I do see that happening. Roland, do I think that the new World Heavyweight Championship title will follow the lineage of the new World Heavyweight Championship title? Of the old, maybe? Oh, you mean of the old? Follow the lineage of the old one? Yeah, I think it's still going to be. I don't think it's going to be a new set of history there. I think it's going to go back to the old World Heavyweight Championship. Thoughts on the GOAT? Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. I don't think he's the GOAT, but I do think that's it's a good move for him. I'm cool. I'm cool with that idea. Really cool with that idea. What else we got before we? You always see Seth versus Cody for the new belt. See, that's the thing. So, okay, if that's the case, where does that leave Roman? Someone's going to have to dethrone Roman. Who's going to look? PNP Nation. Who's going to dethrone Roman Reigns? If Cody and Seth is going to be at Saudi, who, in your opinion, PNP Nation, is going to dethrone Roman Reigns? What do you got? Let's see here. We got. It's going to dethrone Roman Reigns. If it's Cody versus Seth, it's going to dethrone Roman Reigns. Okay, I just answered that. Who should be? Yeah, I said who should be too. Roland, do I think okay, you already answered that here. Okay, here we go. We'll follow the lineage. Okay. Is it the same title that McCrary had or no? Yeah, I think so. I think that is going to be the same lineage. I mean, it better be. I mean, like it just doesn't. It wouldn't make any sense to have a completely new lineage. That wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. So, let's see. I don't know why. I'm trying to. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. What did the first ever World Heavyweight title look like? It looked like, I mean, as far as the WWE World Heavyweight title, was like the red strap, like a red strap with like the world on it. I believe it was 1963, if I'm not mistaken. The draft starts Thursday, I believe, right? Okay. Maybe Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Thursday night is the first day of the draft. Rollin, the OG Big Gold belt looks good, though it has a bunch of chaos, or as you said, worms that makes up much of the design. There's some order with the globe, crown, man grappling nameplate. Yeah. So I think there's like some brush strokes. Like it looks more feathery, when it comes to the OG one. Like the new one just looks like worms. It just looks like a bunch of gold worms. Like there's not like a feathery type of brushy feel to it. It just feels like you're at a manufacturer. It looks like there was a plate and people were trying to put gold and like the gold kept dripping and they're just like, man, forget it. Like we'll just make this into some type of design because whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's how it feels to me. That's how it feels to me. I don't man, listen. I'm I'm not completely against this. I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. It would just be absolutely ridiculous to me. There's nothing that Omos has done to make him a credible champion other than be big. But sometimes that's what's enough. But Omos as WWE as world heavyweight champion, though, like we're talking prestige here. We're talking lineage here. Like he has to earn his way to make it make sense. And so, but I don't think it would be a far stretch if WWE does that. I don't think it would not surprise me whatsoever. It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if Omos becomes the world heavyweight champion because clearly they're high on him. Clearly they are. So if they make him champion to be the big heel, for someone to chase for SummerSlam and then win at SummerSlam, since it's a big 4 pay-per-view, it would not be a surprise, man. It just won't be a surprise. Won't be a surprise. So yeah. Man. Let's see here. Elvis, what if WWE has Edge as heavyweight champion and Trish as Raw Women's champion early to oh no. Oh no. No, thank you. No, thank you. That would just be talk about backtracking. talk about backtracking, ladies and gentlemen. That would be bad news. Very bad news. That would be zero forward progress. Talk about forward progress, ladies and gentlemen. Talking about the draft. Talking about the draft. There would be zero forward progress if that was the decision. Ziegler, she would say, should be Gunther. Okay, make that make sense to me because it doesn't make sense. Dolph Ziggler, out of anybody, Dolph Ziggler beating Gunther, that would not be believable at all. Do I see a tournament or a fatal 4 or 5-way match to crown the champ? In Saudi, I mean, to crown. They did that with the Universal Championship. Then they do a fatal 4-way, and Owens won it. I mean, it would make sense if you did qualifying matches. You got a whole month. You've got what 3 Raws between now and the Saudi event, so you might as well do. Why not do 4 or 5 qualifying matches? I wouldn't be opposed to a 5-way match, actually. It makes it less predictable of who's going to win. So I wouldn't be opposed to that, actually. So I'd be in. I think you should do qualifying matches. You can even make Backlash. See, that's the thing, man. I'm all about making something mean something. And Backlash can actually, it's a minor pay-per-view. You really don't have much going on there other than the 6-man. You can make qualifying matches at Backlash. It's a few weeks before The pay-per-view. I mean, there you go, man. It's a few weeks. It's a few weeks before Saudi, so make it make sense, man. They have some qualifying matches there. Dion, do I see Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, LA Knight competing for the new title? Eventually, I can see all of them. Really, I would say spend some more time with developing their character. That's for sure. For sure. My goodness, for sure. So yeah. Let's see. Rollin, Bobby Lashley can't really hold world titles if he can't cut promos. Lashley looks the part, but Drew McIntyre looks the part, and he cuts promos on a level that makes Lashley look like a child. So I mean, the that makes sense, but the pushback to that would be Lashley getting a stick man. But the thing is, Lashley's gimmick that really works for him, which worked with him as far as the becoming US champion too, was less is more. Like that was his bread and butter, was less is more. So I would say like the less he cut on the promos, because the thing is, you can have like dominant baby faces that doesn't really spend a lot of time cutting promos. His thing can be he's talks in the ring. He runs roughshod. He says a few words, and the less is more feel, especially someone who doesn't really cut promos well. Don't just don't just talk. Don't just spend segments just talking. I mean, just that's not your expertise. That's not your strong suit, and that's okay. But at the same time, run roughshod and spend more time talking in the ring. Like if someone's jabbering, you go in, you bow up, and they're intimidated. You look at them, you walk away, and then boom, spear. That's how you talk. That's how you're speaking for sure. Caroline wants Bryce Young. See, that's interesting because CJ Stroud, had more steam than Bryce Young did, and as far as shorter quarterbacks isn't the hot commodity for the NFL, and Bryce Young's like 5'10". So, I mean, okay, we'll see. Braun Breaker dethrones Roman Reigns. Braun Breaker? He's a heel, anyways, right now. Cameron Grimes, I think you know what? Are you officially drunk right now? Elvis, man, don't do this to me, man. Buddy Rogers have the first belt until he's beaten by Bruno. Yep, the Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers, absolutely. By the way, episode 577 of the Pancakes and Powerslam show is now uploaded on the podcast wave. So you can also go to Pancakes and Powerslams, type in for the podcast, and you'll be able to hear last week's. And I should have this week's up probably in the next couple of days. So Reigns probably won't defend the title in Saudi. Apparently, he's going to have a big celebration. Yeah, I did hear about that. All right, let's get these couple more here. Does this new heavyweight championship make you rethink your hopes for Montez Ford? That's a good question. Or do you think he can still win the Royal Rumble and world title at Mania 40? Which world title? You know what? That's I actually think that it heightens my Montez Ford theory, because if they make him world heavyweight champion, like the world heavyweight champion was like the we're going to give a current star and an ability to say I've been world champion that doesn't necessarily have that top notch feel to him yet, but he's top notch enough, and then we'll put it on a legend like The Undertaker or something like that, or Edge. So Christian, Dolph Ziggler, you know what I mean? Like names like that. Booker T, they were all world champions in the WWE. And so it's like, yeah, like you're world champion. You're like 1B. Like you're not like the top of the top, but you're like 1B. And I it's still gonna make the WWE championship people still want to vie for that. But I can appreciate the World Heavyweight Championship coming back, and I like the name. Now the other person's the undisputed. It's basically what it is now, the undisputed WWE Universal Championship champion. So does that mean Roman Reigns is going to carry 2 belts around still? So you have the World Heavyweight Champion carrying 1 belt, and then you have Roman Reigns carrying 2 belts. Like, okay. And and what's the rhyme or reason to merge them if Roman Reigns is still that champion with both belts? It wouldn't make sense to just say, "Oh, we're gonna merge it now." Like, why? I mean, like, what did I do to cause us to merge the championships? Like, I'm the undisputed WWE Universal Championship champion. So, am I the WWE champion? Am I the Universal champion? When you merge it, are you going to be calling me the undisputed WWE Universal champion? And if you're calling me the WWE Universal champion, does that mean that the WWE championship lineage is not gone? So many questions. So many questions. I do think that he should win the See, again, I think Montez Ford should be I think he should be the future of the company, man. I really do. I wouldn't be opposed to Gunther winning the WWE championship though. But I'll be okay with him winning the world title too. Um if I had to pick, I would say Montez winning the WWE championship, Gunther winning um the World Heavyweight Championship. Although I can see Cody winning and somehow being champ before, and then the Cody Gunther thing makes sense because they had to stare down this year. So I can see Gunther being the one as WWE champion and Montez as world champion. Number one draft pick, I think it's going to be Reigns. Yeah. Elvis is just joking. Okay. I can breathe again. What solo turns on Roman and dethrones? Oh, no. I just, no. Solo Sokoa, Solo Sokoa has a long road ahead of him. I mean, I like what he's doing. The bloodline is really helping him, but by himself, I mean, so Solo turns on Roman, that makes Roman the baby face. Roman would have to be a babyface by himself again. I'm not too big on that. Not too big on that. Solo's got a ways to go before putting a world championship on him. Aaron, I think WWE might go back to Roman versus Jay, and I think they should have Jay beat him to make a new star. So here's the thing, and we're going to end on this one. So I think my pick, like what I'm cool with is Jay versus Roman at SummerSlam. Not for the title though. I think you do it full circle. I think you have an opportunity to do Jay versus Roman at SummerSlam and Jay wins. I think you just got to full circle this thing, make it make sense, and that's what you do. I mean, you can have Roman Reigns, go away from the weekend, come back and say, I've been so disappointed with how y'all have been doing. You can have dissension between Jay and Jimmy. You can even have a match between Jay and Jimmy, at a bigger pay-per-view. Like, well, there's no really big four until SummerSlam, but you can do Money in the Bank, Jay versus Jimmy. You can have that stuff, man. You can have that dissension, and they don't have to necessarily be babyface yet. You know what I mean? They can just have dissension, and somehow they agreed, to a match, and then you can do a full Jay turn leading into Jay versus Roman at SummerSlam, and that, I would be game for that, and have Jay win. I'd be game for that. The one that should dethrone Roman is Dr. Chris Featherstone. Book it, Triple H. All right, fam. PNP Nation, as always, having a fantastic time. We always have the best time because we are the best podcast, the best late night podcast on the interwebs. Thank you once again for a wonderful podcast. PNP Nation always coming through. Listen, for all the supporters of first of all, the Patreon supporters, thank you very much, because you are the breath. You are the foundation. You are the lungs of the show. I appreciate your financial contribution. Look, it takes a lot to do this stuff on my own. This is completely my baby. I completely do all this myself. So it takes a lot of time and energy. So I really appreciate all the Patreons giving. Look, at Chris Prolific or $ Chris Prolific, if you want to cash app, show your boy some love. I really appreciate that too. Look, PNP Nation, I want us to rally together because, like I said before, I've networked with other companies, and I've used those companies, those sites to really help. But the thing is, a lot of the people would be on the site, and appreciate PNP. But now it's like, man, I've spent so much time boosting other sites up with my content. Now I'm switching completely over to my channels. And so I appreciate the PNP Nation rallying behind the cause, because at this point, my next objective is to get over 1,000 subs on YouTube. So look, PNP Nation, rally, share, everybody who you know. We have a tight knit family, so I'm really big on like not bringing in everybody as a sub who's not going to follow. I don't like subbing. I don't like people subbing for subbing's sake. If you're not going to be a part of the PNP Nation and have fun and have be interactive like everybody else, or if you're not going to watch it in the archives. I mean, I'm cool if you sub and watch it later. I'm fine, but you're basically listening and watching to the benefit of coming live and hearing and seeing the questions from everyone else. So that's the benefit of subscribing to Pancakes and Powerslams show and being a part of the PNP Nation live here every Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning. So share it, like it, subscribe it, comment. See, that brings up the algorithms too. All the people who are on PNP Nation and who watch this, leave a positive comment on the YouTube channel, and do that every week, because all that stuff boosts up the algorithms and people see the cool thumbnails on the side. They're like, that's an interesting topic. And then they click on it, and then they say, hey, man, it's a pretty cool, loungy show. And so we have fun that way. All right, PNP Nation needs your help to boost this up. Again, transitioning all to me, and need your help, man. So thank you very much in advance. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, you know what time it is. It's time to go. Yeah, it's time to go. Oh, it's time to go. Another week of the best interactive chat in the galaxy. The PNP Nation is who I'm talking about. Thank you, PNP, for another awesome week. Let's run this back next week, more really. Thank you for another awesome show. PNP, I'll see you later. I'll see you